There are shocking claims that Princess Diana's death happened. The new and shocking claim that she was killed by the British government is now being looked into by the authorities. There are always scandals involving the British royal family. Now there are more than just problems. It's lies coming to the surface. It has been confirmed that Princess Diana did die in a terrible accident by the sister of a well-known royal who married into the family. Why did Sarah decide to tell these deep secrets that had been kept secret for decades? How does this new knowledge change the way we think about Diana's sad death? We're going to talk about how Lady Sarah, who is 60 years old, confirms the rumors about Princess Diana in a moving way. My sister Diana tells it like it is. More than her famous sister, Princess Diana's older sister, Lady Sarah McCorquodale, has stayed out of the public eye. But Sarah has a deeper link to Diana's life and death than most people think. As Princess Diana's mother, she was a part of every part of her life, from her youth to her marriage to Prince Charles. Among the troubling things she told the public about Diana's last days were her paranoid belief that she was being watched, her desperate calls for help, and the scary warnings she gave to other people. For many years she had questions and fears about Princess Diana's death. It wasn't until recently that she got the courage to talk about them in public. Through her tears she acknowledged that the reports about Diana's sad last days were true, even though the official story said otherwise. She talked about how the royal family and the media put a lot of pressure on Diana, and how her sister talked about feeling stuck and alone. In the last few months of her life, Diana became anxious because she felt like she was always being watched and tried to control what she did. Sarah now thinks her sister had good reasons to feel dangerous, which didn't make sense because she was always being watched by the public. It's still not clear if Diana's worries are true, or if Sarah knows about any secret information. She also said Diana called her right before the Paris car accident, and asked for help because she needed to get away from her crazy life right away. Diana told Sarah that she had learnt lies about important people in her life, and was afraid of what would happen if she told anyone. She felt like she was being watched and controlled, which made her want to get away from the people and things around her quickly. Diana told about some scary things she had learnt that she thought might put her safety at risk. Sarah often wonders if her sister's death was really an accident, or if there are evil forces at work that she can't see. Did Diana's last chat with her sister give us enough information to figure out how she died? Diana told her sister that she had always thought that the enemy had hacked into her phones to listen in on her calls. She became more independent after her split from Prince Charles, which made her think that her phone lines were being tapped even more. Sarah says that her sister told her she was worried about feeling safe, especially when they were traveling. Did Diana find out anything that made her vulnerable to being preyed upon? The moving things Sarah said brought up unanswered questions about Diana's death, but they also showed how close these sisters are to each other. Sarah's long silence seemed to be caused by her love for her family and her fear. At the age of 60 she chose to speak out. What was the princess's marriage like, and what did she have to go through while she was with the royal family? Diana got married and then betrayed her. People thought Princess Diana and Prince Charles were married in a beautiful fairy tale way, but palace walls showed that their relationship ended before it even began. Diana thought she would be in a loving relationship with her husband when she married him, but she ended up in a deadly mix of lies. The main cause of the fight was Prince Charles' continued relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles, his longtime partner, after he married Diana. Diana knew there was more between Camilla and Charles as soon as Diana joined him. Diana had always known in her heart that the secret messages and emotional presence that linked the two of them were real. She felt alone in her planned marriage, so hearing such terrible news broke her heart. She said in interviews that the marriage room was always limited because Charles loved Camilla so much. Each day that went by, Diana tried harder but failed to save the relationship, which hurt her more. During their rough times, Diana asked members of the royal family for help, but she rarely got an answer to her worries. As an ideal princess, the royal organization told her not to talk about how much pain she was in. When her marriage ended, it became harder for her to hide how bad her personal problems were. People's marriage problems were made public in a way that was worse than what people read in the news. She was going through a lot of emotional turmoil because she kept feeling rejected and betrayed. Her anxiety and depression got very bad while she was still doing her royal tasks and meeting public expectations. The situation got tough because she was having problems with her marriage and was being closely watched by people all over the world. In the late 1980s, everyone could see that their marriage was broken beyond repair. Along with their tense public shows, Charles and Diana's growing distance from each other became clear in their relationships. Diana finally told Camilla in public about their secret relationship at a social event. Diana's honest admission that her marriage was having problems didn't make Charles feel better, so there was no chance of getting back together. Diana became more open about her problems with people over the years. The interviews that were secretly filmed and later released as Diana, her true story, showed how badly she suffered. She told the truth about how lonely she felt, how she was still struggling with bulimia, and how living as a royal had broken her trust. When the book came out, it shocked the royal family and changed how people had thought about them. In 1992, Charles and Diana said they were getting a divorce, which started a long and tough divorce process. For 4 years, they were in a lot of court cases, got a lot of attention from the public, and were covered in a lot of media. Diana got a lot of money when she and Prince Charles split up in 1996, but she also lost her royal titles and the honor of being Her Royal Highness. With the divorce, she could get out of a marriage that was badly hurting her. After they got divorced, the media kept a close eye on Diana's public life. She stayed a very well-known public person throughout her life, and the media were always interested in everything she did. She began a new chapter by committing herself to helping others. Some of the things she did were run her anti-landmine program and help people with AIDS. People continued to say bad things about her over the next few years. The news media became more and more interested in Diana until she died too soon. What kind of impact did Lady Sarah McCorquodale have on Diana's life before and after she died? Although Lady Sarah McCorquodale was Diana's older sister, she was also an important person in her life who Diana could trust with everything. During Diana's difficult times with the royal family, she was always there for her, which gave Diana direction when other people refused to help her. Strong family ties and shared experiences made Diana's support system very important when she was going through the hardest times. Meghan met Prince Charles through Sarah McCorquodale before they got together. After dating for about 2 months, Sarah reportedly broke up with Charles by telling the public that she didn't love him. Sarah put the younger sister in touch with the man who would become her husband, but Sarah had no idea the terrible pain that would follow. Sarah was there for her sister Diana through everything, from their wedding to her split and even after. When Diana's husband betrayed her, she picked Sarah from a small group of people to talk to about it because Sarah was always there for her emotionally. Sarah stood out from other royal staff because she really listened to Diana instead of reading her emotions into her unstable mental states. She persuaded Diana that her happiness and health were the most important things, no matter how hard things were for her. As Diana's lady-in-waiting, she helped her when she went on official royal duties. During Diana's official tasks, she often stood next to her to teach her about royal customs and help her deal with the attention she got from the public. Sarah was there for Diana when she needed comfort, because being in the royal family made her feel alone. After Diana died in 1997, she took on the serious duty of protecting her memory. Having been one of Diana's executors, gave her the power to carry out the directions in her will. Sarah took care of Diana's personal items and the money from her estate, which was split between her boys Prince William and Prince Harry. Working together with both the royal family and Diana's executors, she helped plan a service to honor the people's princess during the funeral planning process. While the coffin was being moved, she walked behind it with Prince Charles, Prince Philip and Diana's brothers. She worked hard to keep Diana's memory respectful because she was grieving and felt a strong sense of duty. She also said in public years after the event that she was still worried about important aspects of Diana's death. Sarah was most worried about the fact that Lady Diana wasn't wearing her seatbelt. This was because her sister always followed strict safety rules. Sarah didn't like that her careful sister forgot her seatbelt when it was very important to be safe. Her behavior showed that she was very angry about the false news stories that spread false information after the crash. According to the first news stories, Diana was hurt, but doctors said she would heal and be fully recovered. The Spencers found out about Diana's death before the news got out to the public. For 2 long hours, false stories kept going around, adding to the chaos and grief of an already terrible situation. Her support for memorial events honoring Diana's charitable work continues, and she stays close to both Prince William and Prince Harry. Her hard work keeps Diana from being forgotten by most people. Sarah honors all of Diana's lasting effects by holding events at the Diana Award and keeping the Spencer family's history alive at Althorpe House. There are still questions about Diana's death and Sarah's thoughts, but will everyone really know the whole truth about what happened? There are still questions about Diana's death. Many people are still arguing about Princess Diana's tragic death on August 31, 1997, as a major historical event and controversial subject. Reports from the authorities say Diana died in a high-speed car accident in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, but a lot of people, including her close family, have questioned what really happened that fatal night. She is Lady Sarah McCorquodale. Together with her sister, Lady Jane Fellows, she has always been looking for answers to many of the mysteries that surround Diana's life. Because Diana wasn't wearing a seatbelt when she died, it caused the sisters a lot of stress. Investigators became worried when they found out that Diana, Dodie Fade, and the driver, Henry Paul, were the only ones in the car who weren't wearing seatbelts. Trevor Rees-Jones was the only one who did. After seeing the strange things going on with the seatbelts, Sarah and Jane were even more upset when different comments came out soon after the terrible crash. Because official reports were so confusing, Sarah continued to not believe official explanations for many years. There are a lot of questions about how the emergency services and hospital staff responded after the crash, because of how they handled important situations. The French government said that Diana got her first hour of medical care from emergency workers before being taken to Pitié-Salpêtrière Hospital, where she died. There are both medical experts and critics who disagree on whether the long wait played a role in Diana's death. Should she have gotten to the hospital faster in case of an emergency? Would she have lived? The fact that the police haven't given either woman a clear answer about their theories about their sister's death only makes their doubts stronger. Following Diana's death, British security services were looked into because records showed they had been following her around before she died. It came out that MI6 had kept files on Diana for spying purposes. It was found that her movements were watched with more interest than usual, reports suggested. Diana reportedly told other people in letters she wrote right before she died that she was worried about her own safety. People think that outside forces may have been involved in the deaths that fateful night because of the scary warnings about approaching danger and the intelligence community's desire to keep information secret. The official inquest in 2008 found that Diana's death was caused by gross negligence and blamed the driver, Henry Paul, and the following paparazzi. However, it did not answer the questions that Sarah and Jane had been asking for a long time. There is a strong opinion among the sisters that important facts about Diana's death have been either ignored or hidden on purpose. Because these women were determined to find the truth, they got into trouble with the royal government, but they never stopped speaking out. Even though there have been many investigations and a lot of talk about what happened to Diana, the exact truth about her death is still not clear. Will there be new proof that finally gives Sarah and Jane the answers they've been looking for so long? How has their never-ending search for the truth changed their friendship with the royal family? Sisters' silent struggles. After Princess Diana died, her sisters, Lady Sarah McCorquodale and Lady Jane Fellows, moved into a place where they had to fight quietly against oppression that they couldn't see. Diana could share her problems with people all over the world because she had a large audience, but Sarah and Jane had to deal with their sadness in person. The sisters felt two kinds of loss, because they lost their dear sister Diana and had to deal with limiting forces that stopped them from having an impact and stifled their questions. The first hints of this subtle dismissal showed up right after Diana's death. Sarah and Jane learnt that most choices were made by the royal family while planning Diana's funeral. The Spencers wanted to remember Diana in a certain way, but palace officials turned down their offer because they wanted to keep control of the story. Sarah kept trying to get Diana's family more involved in decisions, but the British palace institutions kept her out of important meetings. The royal family worked hard to create a controlled story of events that shut down anyone who didn't agree with their plan.
The way the royal family handled Diana's personal belongings made her sisters even more unhappy. Sarah and Jane's job as executors meant that they had to share Diana's things according to her will. The process for distributing the wealth proved to be hard to carry out. Some of Diana's things that were important to her, like letters, jewelry and photos, were taken from her estate and added to the royal collection. When Sarah and Jane tried to get back missing things from their sister's estate, they ran into official problems. This made them feel helpless in protecting Diana's heritage. After Diana died, her sisters were very upset because they couldn't spend much time with their boys, Prince William and Prince Harry. It got harder and harder for Sarah and Jane to spend real time with their nephews, but they still had close relationships with them. Because of royal protocol and scheduling issues, Prince William and Prince Harry didn't make many public appearances. This meant that the Spencer family couldn't give the support and ties they wanted to. Sarah had a close relationship with Diana's kids, but it got hard for her to keep it up because she wanted to be a reliable person in their daily lives. The image of the royal family didn't see Diana's lasting effect on society, which made things hard for Sarah and Jane. During the time when Diana was remembered and celebrated for her humanitarian work, the royal family didn't seem very excited about fully accepting her long-lasting accomplishments. After her sad death, the royal family did everything they could to take the focus off of what Diana had done. Sarah and Jane didn't agree with minimizing their sister's work because they thought it should be properly recognized. Even when things got hard, Sarah and Jane stayed determined to honor Diana's spirit. To honor her sister Diana's spirit of kindness, Sarah committed herself to the same kind of charity work Diana did. She actively ran the Diana, Princess of Wales Memorial Fund to give millions of pounds to charities that Diana had backed. In addition to working quietly, Jane worked hard to protect Diana's heritage by keeping her sister's historical record alive. Time has made it hard for both sisters to grieve while also taking care of important duties. They have to deal with the power battles in the royal family and the constant attention of the media, while also finding a way to move on in a quiet way. And yet they stay true to the woman whose death touched people all over the world. The younger members of the royal family are changing things and rising to power. What will happen with Sarah and Jane's attempts to get Diana the justice and attention she deserves? And how did her kids deal with losing their mother? After Diana died, there was life. There was a big change in the lives of Prince William and Prince Harry on August 31, 1997.